8 events down and 8 events to go. We're officially on the backstretch of the 2021 Marble Champions League here on Marble Fubeca. Glad to have you again here, friends. I'm Keanu Biedrzycki here for today's event number 9. We are halfway through and still halfway to go. There are the overall standings right now. It's a 5-point lead for the Steel Brothers, leading over Oris 1, the Trojans, Flush, and the Janitors, the top 5. And within 20 points of the lead as well are 6th place Savage Jackal and the 7th place Snow Wolves, going all the way down to the Archangels, who have dropped to last place 16th in our standings. I'll look at our course for today's event, another more traditional style race. We had that in our last event. We'll do it again today. An oval, it appears, for our event. The teams are ready. The fans are ready. Are you ready? This is event number 9 of the 2021 Marble Champions League. This is the Slalom race, 30 meters. Have a look at, again, a beautiful course here. Green infield. And a very small course, but that can provide, as we've seen on the past year on Marble Fubeca, with some very interesting action, some very fast-paced action as well. And here we go. This is another group staging matchup. So we will again go with our bracket style. There are the groups A, B, C, and D. It's a quick 2-lap race. Tatu Bola, the Vikings, Onyx, and the Archangels. In Group A, top 2 will advance. And right now it's Tatu Bola with a big lead over Onyx, and then the Vikings and the Archangels. We go into lap number 2, a large lead for Tatu Bola, up by 1.7 seconds over Onyx, by about 0.2 of a second over the Vikings, who just made a pass for second place. It is Tatu Bola across. They're going to get the win. The Vikings take second. They transfer, followed by Onyx, and the Archangels, who continue to struggle. They will finish in last out of this grouping, and obviously not going to advance into the semifinal, as we have a look at the replay here of this first race. Quick sprints here. The style of event that we're running with today. Provides for not a lot of time to make up any kind of mistake that you might make. As you saw the Vikings make a quick pass, but not much passing otherwise. As Tatu Bola and the Vikings advance to semifinal A. And we make our way to Group B of this opening stage, and they are consisting of the Savage Jackal, the Steel Brothers, those are championship leaders, the Speedy Hunters, and the Sphery Spiders. Lots of S's all over the place here for this matchup, and right now it's the Sphery Spiders and the Steel Brothers, and it looks like the Steel Brothers are going to make a pass for the lead. It's close right now between the top 2, but they're trying to distance themselves between the Speedy Hunters and Savage Jackal. The Steel Brothers pulling out to a little bit of a lead. It's the Sphery Spiders trying to hold on. Steel Brothers win it, and the Sphery Spiders will advance, transferring over by about 0.6 of a second over the Speedy Hunters, and then the Savage Jackal finishing in last out of Group B as we have a look at our replay. You saw the Sphery Spiders actually jump over one of those barriers there. Nothing illegal about it. It's just a matter of whether or not you can make it work for momentum's sake. They did not, as they got passed out of that first corner by the Steel Brothers, but they're still able to advance. As the Sphery Spiders get that transfer spot and the last spot in semifinal A. Here's Group C. The Blue Jackets, the Trojans, the Janitors, and Oris 1, another heavy-hitting group. And right now it's the Janitors with a big lead over Oris 1, then the Blue Jackets and the Trojans. They're all pretty close, but it's a gigantic lead for the Janitors, who'd have to really mess it up if they don't advance. Here we go. It's the Blue Jackets still in the lead. They're trying to gain a little bit of momentum and maybe upset this group. Across the line, it's the Janitors, and the Blue Jackets do get it done. They advance over Oris 1, and the Trojans with a rough run there as they struggle. Let's have a look at the replay. That was a pretty easy win for the Janitors, winning it by 1.2 seconds over anybody, all the way back almost 4 seconds before the Trojans crossed the line after the Janitors did. A pretty dominant run there by the Janitors. They grabbed the first spot along with the Blue Jackets in semifinal B. And our final group, the Lynx Rufus, Flush, Swiftblade, and the Snow Wolves. And they are off, and it's Swiftblade in the lead right now, but here comes Lynx Rufus. They're going to take the lead, followed by Swiftblade, then the Snow Wolves, and Flush falling behind a little bit. Let's see if there could be a pass, maybe. They're right up on the bumper. Swiftblade trying to get to Lynx Rufus, cannot get it done. Here comes Flush with a nice move. Can they make a pass? They're into third, but you need to be second in order to transfer, and they're not going to be able to have enough to get it done. It's Lynx Rufus and Swiftblade advancing from Group B. Look at the replay here, and again, not a lot of passing really going to be done. As you can see, Lynx Rufus made that pass by going over a barrier. We saw one of the teams try to do that earlier. It didn't work. I think it was the Fury Spiders maybe that had attempted to make that move happen. They got it done, but they didn't they weren't able to hold the spot. This time, Lynx Rufus does hold the spot. They're able to take a more traditional turn around the track. In their second lap, they grab a spot in semifinal B. Joining them are Swiftblade, and that is the end of the group stage. So you can see on the left side, those are the teams failing to advance to the semifinals. 8 down, 8 left. As we make our way into the semifinals, we'll start with semifinal A. Again, this is just 2 laps. It's the Steel Brothers, the Vikings, Tatu Bola, and the Fury Spiders. A couple from the top, couple from the middle to bottom of the standings, but that's not going to matter necessarily. It's the Vikings and then the Fury Spiders. Here's a pass for third by the Steel Brothers. They're going to have to get up into second, though. It's the Vikings in the lead. The Fury Spiders have pressure all over them from the Steel Brothers, who make that pass. They go into second place as we come around for the final 2 turns. Here we go. It's going to be the Steel Brothers holding on. They take second. The Vikings get the win. The transfer go to the Steel Brothers. They're into the final as well. The Fury Spiders put up a tough fight there, but they're unable to ultimately get it done against the Steel Brothers, who advance into the finale, joined by the Vikings, who win that one by a little over a half a second in semifinal A. And on the replay here, you can see that pass had to be made. The Fury Spiders very nearly spoiling the party for the Steel Brothers, but ultimately they're able to make that pass, which is not easy. We've seen here has not been easy to pass, but they get it done to advance into the finale. Here's semifinal B. Lynx Rufus, the Janitors, Swiftblade, and the Blue Jackets. The Janitors had an incredible run in their first matchup, but they are struggling early here, really far behind the pace. Right now it's the Blue Jackets and then Swiftblade and Lynx Rufus, and a pretty significant portion behind are the Janitors. They are not going to be able to get this thing done. The Janitors will fail to advance. It's the Blue Jackets. Can Swiftblade do it? Yes, they can. And they take it rather easily. Nearly a second between second and third. It was not an awfully close race there. 1.2 seconds from first to second, and then about 9/10 of a second from second to third. So a pretty easy advancement there for, obviously, the Blue Jackets with that win, but also pretty easily done there for Swiftblade. And so our final is set. It's the Vikings, the Steel Brothers, the Blue Jackets, and Swiftblade. Couple from the top, couple from not the top. In fact, I would even call it the bottom of the standings. But that is what's so great about this tournament and the way that this Marble Champions League works. Everybody's great, so anybody could do it at any point in time. Here comes the finale. Again, just 2 laps. It is a quick sprint. Right now in the lead are the Blue Jackets, followed by Swiftblade. Then your championship leader, the Steel Brothers, and the Vikings taking on 4th. The Blue Jackets really trying to stretch out that lead. They lead by 1.3 seconds over Swiftblade. Coming around to that last propelling system, and they are going to get it done. It's the Blue Jackets who take gold. 2nd place and a silver to Swiftblade, and the Steel Brothers take bronze. 4th place goes to the Vikings. As we have a look at our replay, that one again, not close. Won it by 7/10 of a second, as it was a pretty easy run there. And for the Blue Jackets on that second lap, it's all about just coasting it home, to be honest with you, as they were able to really build a lead on that first one. They're the winners of this event number 9, the slalom race 30 meters. As you have a look now at our official results from today's event, Blue Jackets take first, second place to Swiftblade, third to the Steel Brothers, fourth to the Vikings, and the Sphery Spiders end up in fifth. Then Tatu Bola, Lynx Ruffus, and the Janitors rounding out the top half of the standings, all the way down to, yet again, a very bad run for the Archangels. They continue to struggle. As we have a look at the updated overall standings, it's still the Steel Brothers, and they are now pulling away with a 14-point lead over Oris 1. How, by the way, the Steel Brothers still yet to win an event, but they have 2 silvers, 2 bronzes, and have been far more consistent. Third place, the Janitors. Fourth place, the Trojans, who struggle a little bit in that event. And then Flush right now running in fifth. So maybe we're starting to see somebody try to pull away with this thing. We're a little more than halfway through now with this overall championship. And now it's a 14-point lead. Congratulations, third place to the Steel Brothers. They've now got 105 points. They're the championship leaders after a bronze today. 74 points for Swiftblade after taking silver, but today they're all aspiring to be the Blue Jackets. They take gold at the slalom race 30 meters, and really definitely something maybe that will allow them to turn around their season as we go into the second half of the 2021 Marble Champions League. Until next time, I'm Keanu Biedrzycki, and you've been watching a presentation of Marble Fubeca.